I think this is a good segue actually into the spirituality stuff.
I know, I was thinking that too.
It really, because it really takes in a part of your relationship with yourself, and how much do you believe in yourself, and how much you believe in faith, like, or putting intentions out there and having your heart stick to it,
and trying to manfest it.
Because as you learn, like with energy, and energy flows where your intentions are, really, I think. And where you direct your energy, more things are going to gravitate to that. So
good or bad,
good and bad, very true on every level. So for me, I'm just constantly putting attention, like I'm working for myself. I'm going to keep working for myself. I'm not going to lose sight of that. I'm not going to think of a plan B right now. It's plan A or nothing.
No, for sure. Because I feel like when you think of plan B, that means you're already accepting a reality where it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And that's not a good move.
Yeah.
I think it's really important for people to find a purpose, and you found your purpose through photography and artistry and freelancing and working for yourself, and and fulfilling those needs all by yourself. That is a powerful thing, and I would like to see more people find that in whatever their thing is. It could be fucking carpentry, it can be writing, it can be
architecture, it can be
engineering.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be art, like classical art. It can be whatever it is. I think everybody's an artist personally, and I think, maybe if you don't want to think of yourself as the Leonardo da Vinci type artist, like sure, maybe you're not that artist, but you are an artist of something, even if you're an artist of mathematics. So I think just viewing that for yourself, it's like the framing, that internal dialogue, it dictates how you feel.
It really is. Internal dialogue is so important. I'm even realized it's like the things that we're listening to is so important. Like I recently, I'm not a religion, but I do different forms of religious practices.
You're not a religion?
I'm not I don't follow a religion. I know, right?
I'm not a religion. Good. Me neither. I'm a person.
I'm a person. I should be a religion. No, I'm kidding.
Worship me.
Right. But no, I don't follow a religion, but I do different spiritual practices, and I have tried different religions, and I kind of pick what fits best for me. So Ramadan just passed, and I fast for Ramadan, and I also fast from certain music. I fast in different ways, my internal dialogue. I also, you're in Ramadan, it's you're not supposed to talk badly about people, which is hard. You don't realize how
often that happens.
Until you're telling yourself you can't,
It's true.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, that person is, shit.
Can't do it. But did that help almost reprogram you to stop defaulting to those things? Because to me, that's a form of mindfulness.
It is.
Of noticing those things, making a note of it, and then if it's something you don't like, then changing it.
Yeah. And it also, the internal dialogue too, I think looking at people differently too, okay, I really don't want to think bad about this person. Why is this person an asshole? Right? Well, you have to remember, hurt people. So instead of being you're just an asshole, my internal dialogue kind of switched to wow, that person's must have gone through. That person needs some love in their life.
That person needs a moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
That person needs, take a time out, or something. Because there's always a reason why people do the things or act the way that they do, and kind of looking at it in an empathetic way rather than just you're an asshole.
Totally. and sometimes it's not logical. So sometimes there's no way to explain why they did that. But there still is a reason for it, even if the reason is ludicrous. It still to them was a reason, and if you were to follow it all the way back to the source, which is already impossible, you could just go back forever, being and then his parents fucked up, and then their grandparents fucked up when they did this. Right. And, you could go back forever.
It's a generational.
It's a generational problem, and it really could be. It really could. It genuinely could be from the genes that this person was working with, they have a history of assholes and they've only had a couple nice people in their family the whole time, you know?
Yeah, but that's also a reasoning on why someone, you know, it's like, man, he's an asshole, but look at his parents. They were assholes too.
Yeah, he didn't exactly have a good example to learn from.
Right.
And that's where just being understanding, it doesn't mean accepting. Like, I think there's a difference. Like,
there's a difference.
You can be like, well, I understand that he's an asshole and I understand why he's an asshole. I don't agree with him being an asshole, but I understand it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think getting to that point leads to a better dialogue for people.
It does.
Because otherwise, it's just, oh, he's a dick, and he's a and she's a bitch, and bull, and like everybody's saying all these horrible things to each other, and they're missing the point of like what they're actually arguing.
Yeah, that's so real.
I feel like our dialogue in this country specifically right now seems to be uncomfortably in that direction, where it's very, I don't even want to hear you because I've already invalidated you before you said a word.
Yeah.
You know, I already know I don't agree with you, so I'm just going to disregard everything you say from that point forward.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a lot more because we have social media. So a lot of people, you know, one's perception is their reality. And you can look at somebody and perceive someone a certain way by their post, really based off of who you are. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like, so you can like see someone on social media a certain way, but then meet them in person and they're like an entirely different person. That's true. Than the person you thought they were. Mm-hmm. You know, so you can either just like continue to just be like, okay, no, I'm already putting you in this box. Mm-hmm. Or you can be like, wait, so what's the real you?
Yeah, maybe
like,
there's more to you.
Let's dig deeper.
Sure. I think just being inquisitive in the first place leads to more fruitful interactions. If you're curious about somebody, even if they're a shitty person, if you learn a little bit about what made them so shitty, that's still useful. Like, I feel like it's still a useful experience, because then that's like one more potential character outcome that you can throw in the box of possibilities of like, people can be like this. And then once you've seen enough of those possibilities, no one can surprise you fundamentally. Like, people can always surprise you, because people will do things you're like, oh man, that was so sweet, I never expected them to do that, you know. But meaning surprise you, and like you'll know what every type of person is, because there are certain basic things that you can just see trending across all of humanity.
And there's actual, in psychology, there's personality types. Mm-hmm. You know, we all fall into these. Like, I actually did one of those, like, I don't know, it was like one of those.
Yeah, I always wonder how scientific those are.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
know. I mean, there's a lot of random ones on social media, those personality tests and stuff. Those are just random. Yeah. Like, you're 98% Angelina Jolie. Because, like, it's like weird, you know, like, but there's an actual like psychological test that you can take, and it was really long. It was a really long test, and it deciphers what personality type you are. And I forget the title of mine, but mine was like the outgoing one. Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Knowing you, I'm like, and you know, and that groups me in with other people that have this type of personality. Mm-hmm.
You know, and why you get along with them versus people maybe that aren't the same, you know.
Right.
Which I feel like I'm like super open to everyone, right? Whether you're ambivert, extrovert, introvert. But I feel like introverts are a little bit more like, you're an extrovert, I don't want to fuck with you, you know.
Yeah, there might be a little bit of that.
There's a little bit more, because I mean, I'm open, you know, but I'm more so, I would consider myself like, I'm very outgoing. Yeah, you know, back in
but you're also introspective though.
Yes.
So that is more of an introvert's quality, but that's where nobody's one thing over the other. I would argue that we're both more extroverts than introverts, but I think we definitely both have introverted
like I can, you know, like when I like really just extract myself from like my phone or technology, and like I've done hikes by myself in the desert, I've done hikes by myself in the mountains of Colorado, like but then that's not exactly me just being home, but I do have times where I just want to be home and not do anything and just watch TV all day.
We need that time,
you know. I have those days, but I also have those moments where like I hardcore balance myself by doing these things really on my own. And I learned a lot by traveling alone.